Hello and welcome to our special broadcast that we're bringing to you from the Hyderabad House. This is going to be the location of the meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Putin, the formal part of the bilateral meeting that is to take place later in just a few hours from now. Already the preparations are underway. You can see there's of course a huge amount of media personnel from Russia who are present to get an early access and get their spot inside the Hyderabad House. So clearly, of course, the excitement as to what really will be the big announcement is, of course, something that's being eagerly awaited, eagerly watched. I, along with my colleague Hina, will be taking through all the updates as there's a packed schedule for President Putin. Yesterday, we saw how Prime Minister Modi broke protocol and went to the airport to receive President Putin, something that's a very, very rare honor that only a handful of world leaders have received in terms of India when they're officially visiting the country. And that, of course, just goes to show how close India and Russia and their ties have been, the personal dynamic between the two leaders, Prime Minister Modi on one hand, President Putin on the other hand. My colleague Hina is also joining us from the heart of Lutyens, Delhi. She's at Vijay Chowk. Over to you, Hina.
Well, good morning, Madhav. Good morning, viewers. I'm coming to you live from this iconic Vijay Chowk area. On my left is the Parliament, where current winter session is underway, and on my right is the Rashtrapati Bhavan, where from 2 hours from now, President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, is going to receive a ceremonial reception. And we on Times Now are going to keep you ahead on this biggest story of the day, a very, very important visit of Russian President Vladimir Putin to India. And Madhav, he's going to be here precisely for 27 hours. And when he arrived yesterday, that very special gesture by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to, go and receive him at Palam Airport, wherein, he ditched his own personal vehicle and went with Prime Minister in his vehicle to Lok Kalyan Marg. That was a very, very special gesture, something that everybody around the world has been watching and even talking about.
So the biggest
Well, absolutely. And in fact, let's quickly get an update from all of our reporters who are joining us. We have reporters spread across the national capital because the Prime Minister will, of course, be receiving President Putin here at Hyderabad House. But beyond that, he has visits to Rashtrapati Bhavan. He will be paying respects to Mahatma Gandhi at the Raj Ghat. There's a packed schedule, including a roundtable with business leaders. Let me first go across to Rishabh, who's also at the Hyderabad House. Rishabh, take us through what exactly we are expecting in terms of an announcement, partnership until 2030. That's something that's on the table, we understand. And beyond that, what are we looking at when the two leaders do address following the bilateral meeting? What really can be the big announcement there, Rishabh?
Well, Madhav, the canvas is vast, from defense to energy to trade to space. Everything is on table. The Russian sides have made their intent very clear that they are here to do business. Yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosted the Russian President Vladimir Putin for almost 3 hours. For that matter, more than 3 hours at his residence in a private dinner. The informal meeting has set the tone for today's business. What we are going to see today at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, there will be a ceremonial welcome. Then President moves to Raj Ghat, where he'll be paying tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. But all eyes on Hyderabad House now, Madhav, because here where the business would be discussed. Defense, remember, S-400s is something that India is very keen to. The DSC has also cleared the letter of intent for furthermore replenishing the equipments that were used in Operation Sindoor. Russia is very very enthusiastic about offering Su-57 to India. Remains to be seen whether India would show interest or not. Apart from that, energy, remember, energy trade between India and Russia is something, Madhav, that has got the global eye on India. We are under 50% of huge tariff from United States for purchasing oil from Russia. India says it's in our national interest. Remains to be seen how things unfold there. Yes, there's a dip in the import of oil from Russia, but both the sides are looking at mechanism to get it back to what it was 2 months ago. Apart from that, when it comes to space, when it comes to sports, exports, when it comes to defense, when it comes to defense partnership, all these things would be discussed here. Nuclear power submarine to be leased to India is also something that we are looking at. Apart from that, we are also looking at Rosatom actually going into civil nuclear. The SRMs are something that both the sides can discuss and announce as well. So at 1:50 p.m. when the MOUs get signed, that will be the most watched event right now globally.
Okay, stay with us, Rishabh, because Rohit is joining us from ITC Maurya, where President Putin is at the moment. Rohit, what really is happening over there? When do we expect President Putin to be leaving? His first stop is expected to be Rashtrapati Bhavan today. What do we know about what time he's expected to depart, Mohit?
Well, yes, in fact, Madhav, the security is all beefed up over here at ITC Maurya, and in some time from now, at around 10:30 or 10:45, President Putin is expected to leave from ITC Maurya. Then he is all set to go to Rashtrapati Bhavan for the Guard of Honor, and post that he will be going to Rajghat, and after that there will be bilateral with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which will be followed by the press statement. Now, Madhav, this particular visit of President Putin is very, very important, given the fact that when Prime Minister Narendra Modi went to the airport yesterday, the message was to the world, and specifically to the US or to the countries which have been opposing President Putin's visit to India, that India will cater to their own interests. We will not be dictated by the world powers. We will have in mind that what we need for us, what is best for us, and perhaps that is why Russia has been our all-weather ally, and that was the message that was being given by Prime Minister when he went over there to the airport to receive him. Now, trade is something, as Rishabh was saying, will be on the radar, and also India would want that that they should export more to Russia. The trade deficit is something that India will cater to in this particular visit, that how exactly Russia can open their market for Indian agriculture sector, automobile sector, defense sector, because if the Make in India has to progress, then if Russia helps India in that, then that would be something which will be very big for the country. And hence this particular visit is very important, and the whole area has as of now been cordoned off, given the fact that President Putin's security has taken over this particular place. The Delhi police and all the armed forces are there. And in some time from now, President Putin is all set to leave for Rashtrapati Bhavan, for the Guard of Honor. And after that, he will be going to Rajghat for paying tribute to Mahatma Gandhi. And post that at Hyderabad House, the bilateral between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and President Putin will take place. And hence, it's a very, very important meeting. It's a short visit, but the outcomes are something that everybody is expecting. That will be big, and also it will be great for India's economy. So we have to wait and watch how exactly it will pan out. And shortly from now, President Putin will leave for the President's house. Back to you.
Vladimir Putin, these 24 hours that he's going to be in the national capital, lot of interesting, important engagements lined up for him. Let me also now go across to my colleague Priyank Tripathi, who is live with us from Kartavya Path. Priyank, good morning. You know, the focus is also going to be on the security arrangements that are in place, because remember, he's a very high-profile leader that we are talking about, and you know, throughout the way we saw hoardings welcoming Russian president, you know, on the way, and also high security is there. In fact, a lot of diversions are also there for people who will be visiting central Delhi today because of this very high-profile visit. Tell us a little bit about the security arrangements that are in place today in the national capital.
Well, Hina, for those commuters who are trying to move towards the Luton Delhi, it's going to be a nightmare for them, because from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. there are immense traffic restrictions which has been there, because starting from Dholakua area where the Putin has been staying, then coming to Rashtrapati Bhavan where we are standing right now, this whole stretch of Satyamarg and the Chanakpuri zone has been made like a fortress. And from here, when Putin will go to Rajghat, that particular stretch crossing from the ITO and moving towards the Rajghat, this area has been totally fortified by the police personnel. We have been observing that the Special Protection Group officials have been doing recce of this location, and they have taken several rounds of this Rashtrapati Bhavan and the Vijay Chowk area, because the first location for Putin would be this location, after he leaves from the ITC Maurya hotel, where our colleagues have been reporting on. So throughout the day till 12 noon, till the time he actually goes for the bilateral meeting at the Hyderabad house where Madhav and Rishabh have been reporting from, there will be immense traffic restriction because soon after this ceremonial reception at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Putin will be moving towards Rajghat. He will be paying tribute to Rashtrapita Mahatma Gandhi, and once he comes back to the India Gate area, then only other areas movement will be allowed. That's a clear-cut message which has also been issued by the Delhi police official. We know that they have been snipers and other security parameters which has already been allowed on the place.
Telling us the Delhi police put out an advisory last